Look what I've got! The most important thing about being a chef is being clean. Homemade tortellini. Go over there. Just what I thought would happen. I knew it was going to happen. Oh, look.
Oh, his first day of school.
I'm really hoping that it doesn't just turn into a murky green pool with sheets of dough. So excited. Oh, thank you so much. That looks lovely. Holy macaroni. That's the best thing I've ever made. Make this for yourself. Hi! We're gonna be making some homemade tortellini today. Homemade tortellini. Look what I've got! Yes. I've also got an amazing tea towel. The most important thing about being a chef is being clean, which is obviously very true. Thank you, Anya, for that lovely birthday present. Homemade tortellini with spinach, ricotta filling, and basically a posh pesto sauce with a bit more pizzazz. Pasta maker, blender, that's it for tools. Plain flour, 3 eggs, we'll see how I get on. Might need more. Basil, I looked everywhere in Glasgow for pine nuts and couldn't find them anywhere. If someone finds pine nuts, send them to me, DM me for my address. A lemon, some garlic, some olive oil, ricotta, and spinach. That's all you need. A technical dish. Let's cook some fucking food. I'm going to make pasta, tortellini. So I'm gonna do the old classic way of making it, just like my mama used to make. So what we're gonna do is just make an enormous volcano of flour, and we're just gonna dig in, and you can come and look at this. We're just gonna make a nice well. Within this well, we're just gonna crack some eggs. 1, 2, 3. Oh, cowboy. Just enough. We're having fun, aren't we already? Look at that. Cooking. We're just gonna use a fork. Let's just guarantee no spillage here. Whisk your eggs within your flour bowl. So far, so good, eh? And what we're gonna know is we're just gonna start sort of folding the flour into the centre. So okay, if you make a little bit of a mess, it's fine. And then eventually we should have something that we can knead, you know, and then the world's your oyster. You can do whatever you want. Oh shit. Go over there. Okie. So much flour. 4 eggs. Egg. Woohoo! Egg number 5. Oh. Not doing this every night. Oh yeah. So this will take a few minutes. You know, it does slowly transform into a nice, elastic, tough dough that's gonna be strong when it's thin. Here we are, look. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap this in a bit of plastic, cling film, whatever, and stick it in the fridge for about half an hour. This will just toughen it up even more, so that when we stick it through our little pasta machine, it'll be a tough cookie. It won't upset us. It'll just do what we want it to do. In the fridge, 30 minutes. Alright, see you soon. And now we're gonna make our sauce. We're gonna use the blender again. We've always had issues with the blender, and I have no doubt that we will again this time. But hey, it's fun, isn't it? Righty-ho, like I said earlier, the sauce is just pretty much like a fancy pesto. I've got 2 packs of basil, which I'd say is approximately 1 healthy plant. Roughly chop all this up. This is all of my basil. It's all I've got. I'm gonna get about 1/4 of this and leave that aside because we're gonna use that for our filling. And the rest, I'm just gonna slap right into our blender. Gorgeous. Speaking of gorgeous, you might notice that I've got another new apron. Look at it, it's gorgeous. Yeah, come look. Frogs, lily pads. Maybe some would say it's rather French. Yeah. It's very stylish. And this was another birthday present from my lovely sister Bryony. Thank you, Bryony. You would ideally have pine nuts, but like I said, couldn't find any anywhere, and they're a bit smaller and you wouldn't need to chop them up, you can just shove them straight in. But I've got almonds and a little bit bigger, so I'm just gonna really roughly chop into them. It's a little bit satisfying. The good thing is that these are slightly sweeter than pine nuts, so our sauce isn't just going to be a pesto, it's going to be a nice sweet basil, fresh, light sauce. There you go in. Garlic. 2 cloves of garlic. You can never have enough garlic in anything. Lemon. Straight down the middle. This, honestly, is just going to be absolutely delicious. Save your lemon skins. We might zest it up. Salt. Woo! Pepper. Oil. Pulse. I think we've made something special. Okay. It's actually very excellent. Excelente. Just transfer because we're going to use the blender again for the filling. Oh, it smells like a summer from a childhood. It smells like grass-stained knees. So, rinsed the blender. Stick that other bit of basil in there. Always crush your garlic. So important, especially if you're not cooking it. So important if you're a connoisseur of flavour like me. Basil, garlic in, salt, pepper, ricotta. Remember that lemon? Just gonna zest. And you know what? Before anyone says anything, I know that I should be using a food processor, not a blender. But I don't care. It's a ridiculous amount. Olive oil on top. Yeah. Just what I thought would happen. I knew it was going to happen. Whoa! Another excellent thing. Let's roll out the pasta. So I've got a pasta roller, which is so exciting. This isn't essential, it's extremely helpful because it is quite hard to roll out pasta with just a rolling pin. So first of all, we're not going to use all of this. I'm not going to use all of this. It's quite a lot. It looks like maybe a normal amount of dough, but to roll this out, we'd have a king-size bed. So I'm just going to quarter it. I'm going to use that much. And we're just going to start flattening it with our hand in the flour. Start it off with the hands because if you put a ball of dough into this, it's not going to do anything. And what we're going to do, this is so exciting, we're just going to feed this This is our widest setting. I'm just gonna half the width, and we're just gonna keep halving it. I'm missing the clamp that holds it down to the table, so. What I'm actually gonna do, I'm gonna third it, do it on the same width as what I just did. Dare I do one more? So this is the thinnest it goes. Tortellini is a pasta that originates in Bologna, and apparently the traditional way to make it, or the traditional way to know if it's thin enough, is that you are able to read a newspaper through it. Hey, now you try and tell me we didn't do a good job. Come on. A cookbook, not quite a newspaper. Let's do the test. Oh yeah, quite easily read. So that turned out quite well, didn't it? What we're gonna do now is we're gonna cut the sheets into, you can do either squares or circles. I'm gonna do squares. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut some equal looking squares. Some rectangles in there, but that's okay. So we've got our filling and a little cup of water to dip your fingers into. It's helpful to just moisten, just to wet one's whole side. So on this I'm going to do two sides. Let's see how it goes. And the key here is to put in, see that's probably too much. So we put in less than we think, and then we just flatten it out. Just got 2 thumbs, wrap it around and push together. Tortellini. Those old ladies in Bologna knew what they were doing. So if they all look like that, I'll be very happy, because that is just adorable. You know what? And that one's gonna definitely make it into the final one. Look at it, tortellini. I'm just gonna one by one. All right, and then one by one, dampen the edge. And what I like to do is push from the middle outwards just to get the air out, because it seals when it's wet. Bit of spillage, but it's all right. Oh. And they're all going to be a different shape. It's not a processed thing, you know, the ones that you find in the shop, they're all exactly the same shape. And these rectangular ones is where we might find a little bit of, you know what, wet. All these edges here. This one is going to be a very special one. Oh, look.
Oh, it's his first day of school.
We've got a family portrait. And there we have it, a family of tortellini. So now we're just gonna put them in a pot and eat them. I'm really hoping that it doesn't just turn into a murky green pool with sheets of dough. But I'm also absolutely certain that it won't. I mean, from this point onwards, it's cooking pasta, isn't it? That's very exciting. That's what we want. Ah, how wholesome is this? Bit of salt and pepper. And remember our sauce? Just like my mama used to make. Oh, time and time again, he produces results. If this turned up to your table in a restaurant, I'd be like, oh, thank you so much, that looks lovely. Here goes nothing. Look at those colours. Holy macaroni. That's the best thing I've ever made. And it's so simple. Spinach, basil, lemon and garlic and ricotta. Do yourself a favour, make this for yourself and follow the Instagram. Thank you for watching. Bye.